Oh, welcome to another edition of Breakfast with Bob. We're here at Challenge Roth, the 12th annual. And this is seriously one of the premier triathlons on the planet. And I'm lucky to be joined by Johannes Rabl, who has a pretty fascinating story. Johannes, you are from this area, right? You didn't grow up that far from here.
Yeah, actually, I grew up just 1.5 hours from here, but in 2005 I left home and now I'm traveling the world. And lately I settled down in the Maldives, which is the smallest country in Asia, just south of India.
Okay, so you're living and I'm assuming training in the Maldives, which is 400 meters by 2 kilometers.
Yeah, that's the size of my island. This is where I live and where I work. And it sounds actually not perfect for triathlon training.
You think?
Yeah, kind of. But I gave it a shot.
Yeah.
And I think I'm in decent shape to survive the challenge on Sunday. And let's see how it all goes.
Now, you got into the sport, like you said, in 2008. Most of the racing in Asia?
Yeah, actually, it's my first triathlon in Europe now. I started in Bali, and then I did races in Vietnam, in Singapore, in Hong Kong, Bangkok, so all the exotic, hot, humid places. Yeah. And last year on 14th July, I said I want to just check out if I would get a slot anyway in Roth. And I clicked on the website and got this email, congratulations, you are in.
You're in.
And then I was in trouble, right? So I called my coach, Jürgen Zak.
Wait. You're coached by the legend, Jürgen Zak?
Yeah, he's an old friend of mine. I met him in Asia during my travels. And I told him I was in trouble and I needed a training plan to help me out on this little island with the training. And he kind of understood my situation and he set it up for me. And he's coming today as well to Germany, so we see together how it all works.
So when you're training, I'm imagining it's not like you're just running around the block a million times. You're running on a treadmill, riding a stationary bike, riding rollers. Take us through the type of training you've been doing.
Yeah, actually, all my swimming happens in the ocean. We do have plenty of pools on the island, though. They are not
little baby
for
hotel
training.
pools.
They're like relaxation pools and children's pools and so on. So all my swimming happens in the ocean, which is beautiful. But you get distracted by rays and turtles and sharks, so your head position is not always perfect.
Sharks
the coach
could
is
distract
shouting.
you.
Yeah, small ones, little ones. They're shy. They just want to play, right? And the running happens either on sand. Or on the treadmill in the gym, and all the cycling is in the gym on the stationary roll because cycling a triathlon bike on a sandy road doesn't quite work.
So you're doing all your riding on rollers, basically.
That's correct, yeah.
What's the longest ride you've done on rollers?
The longest session overall I have done was 5.5 hours on the roll, followed by 1 hour 45 on the treadmill running.
Mentally, I mean, obviously, I'm assuming you're listening to music, doing something. What do you do to keep yourself sane while you're doing those long workouts?
To be honest, you have to think of something, and I try to imagine myself being in an environment like here at Challenge Roth or joining another famous triathlon, thinking of my mates who are also doing the same hobby and so on, and then it works. And once you get used to it, you have that goal and you are focused. But you're right, now mentally I'm quite worn out and it's time that race day comes.
And for the last few days leading into this, you couldn't even swim in the ocean, right? You had jellyfish and you were out of the ocean.
Jellyfish alarm, blue bottles, that's the Portuguese man of war. They are quite painful.
Yeah.
So I thought I would rather concentrate on something else than swimming, just to play safe. But now it's beautiful here, so there is no jellyfish in Germany, so I can concentrate one more session on swimming today, and then I should be all set.
So your first race here is going to be a 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bike ride, and 26.2-mile run, and you've been doing all your training basically stationary. Are you concerned?
I used to be concerned, but then I arrived here and I started to understand the environment and the ambience here with all these spectators and the hype and the fun and the great cheering by the people. So I think even though I'm not in a perfect condition for training, I might be able to just suck up all these ambience so it pushes me through the finish line.
So your coach is Jürgen Zak. What has Jürgen brought to you in terms of making you a better triathlete?
I think he just taught me how to combine the three parts, running and cycling and swimming, he definitely gave me some input in swimming technique, and I never have been a real swimmer, so he taught me how to really swim properly. In terms of cycling, he changed my training from pure mileage to wattage and to more intensity, so I can really see some results, because I couldn't go the distance on the treadmill and on the roll. So I got more into intensity, and then for the running, just the right pace and the right mental state to finish the long run. I think he all brought it together. And with everything said, he helped me to not lose the fun part of it as well.
So what's fascinating is a lot of people look at it and go, man, it's so hard to train by yourself indoors all the time. But the positive of coming here, you're going to be seeing things all day long, which is something you haven't been able to do in training. So it's going to be a lot of fun for you.
That's what I think, and this is what I hope for as well. I mean, when my legs hurt on the roll, there was nothing to distract me, right? And it was just the pain right there. But what I hope for is that even though I might be in pain during the race, I just look around, I see all the people and all the crowd, and then I forget about the rest.
And like you said, you grew up about an hour and a half from here. So will family come out and be here for you?
Yeah, sure. There is 2 of my siblings coming, my parents coming, a lot of mates coming. And even though I live now far away, but there is even people coming from Asia to join the race here. So everybody's flying in, some people participating as well. So it's going to be like a big party.
And Maldives, tell us a little bit about being there. You work with a hotel, and it's a privately owned island, correct?
Yeah, it's a privately owned island. The hotel is called One and Only Retira. It's a top luxury resort, 130 rooms. Sounds very small, but we run the high season with 1,000 staff. Wow. So you're not only like a hotel manager, you almost become like a town mayor, taking care of all these people on one little island. So in the beginning, they thought I was nuts doing all that stuff on the island, but now they understand and they encouraged me, and they will follow in the internet on Sunday. So I look forward to coming back home and showing them some medal.
So when you come across this finish line, and this, for somebody who grew up here, this race is iconic. This is a very special event because it's been around, about 12 years, and before that it was an Ironman. It's a very historic event. What will it mean to you to know that you did all your training while everybody else was able to go ride, run, swim, do things outside, swim with masters programs? You've done it all basically on your own. What will it mean to come across that finish line?
I mean, it means a lot to me because it was a goal that I followed for more than a year, and every day I thought of it, and it got closer and closer. And it's something really special at home in Germany. Everybody knows about that race. Even my grandmother, who doesn't have anything to do with triathlon, she knows about that race in Roth. So it's basically the Champions League of endurance sports in Europe. And everybody I tell about the race, they just say, "Man, that's incredible," and good luck. So it definitely means a lot.
People who live on Hawaii talk about island fever, being on something like the Big Island, which is huge. Your island is 400 meters by 2K. Do you get island fever? You just need to get off of there after a while?
Yes, I do get island fever. Imagine there is not a single cinema in the entire country.
No theaters.
There is nothing, you can't do anything basically. So what I do is I train, I work, I sleep, and every 8 weeks or so I just get off the island. And then I go for racing, for smaller races in Asia, or I go to see my family. My next trip after Challenge Roth will be Kilimanjaro, to climb up there. So I have a lot of things planned out, but I need to get off, otherwise you get nuts.
Well, let's bring Rainer back in here. We'll have a little accordion time. Johannes, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And Johannes Rabl has been our guest. We are again at Challenge Roth, the 12th annual. And Rainer, let's play us out. Breakfast with Bob. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're here on triathlete.com. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.